starts the game. He's pitching well. He's going to pitch the whole game, regardless of whether it's left-handed hitters or right-handed hitters, or at least until the ninth. But relievers don't have that same advantage. They get moved in and out just because of who they're facing, regardless of how well they're pitching. Gonzalez quickly down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Here, Gonzalez seems very anxious in this at-bat.
This is the thing. Now, you can point out to the circumstance. He knows what's on the line, but he's, and that's maybe bad, and that's what puts pressure on himself. He knows he's a tying run, but you can't treat the at-bat any differently. But he's really aggressive.
On an 0-2 pitch, Hill throws a ball right down the middle. You want to see a mistake. Oh.
But why did he miss it? Because of the same reason he was swinging at a couple of other pitches. He is over anxious right here. He's not relaxed as he needs to be. Let's see if he can relax on this one. No balls and 2 strikes. Still alive.
Even with 2 strikes, Gonzalez taking a very, very big swing. There's a theory, and I repeat it only for the sake of the fact that it comes up in newspaper, radio, TV, that when Gonzalez gets into games where Griffey's doing well on the other side, he feels such competition for him that it sort of drives him up the wall a bit psychologically.
Well, it might be wise to just step back and say he's got me by 19. I think I'm not going to catch him this year. Let's just have a good year. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's just hit 30. Let's drive in 110.
That's right.
Let's hit 290, 300. Let's put another $6 million in the bank.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Canseco at first with nobody out. Let's go to Kevin in the clubhouse.
All right, Greg, it is over in New York. Not only the hockey game, but the 54-year curse of the New York Rangers. The Rangers win it tonight, 3-2, a great hockey game. They will be celebrating in Gotham this evening. I can guarantee you that. Let's go back to Arlington, Greg and Norm.
And they've got to continue their quest for a double play championship, as they'll melt the ice and put the basketball court back up on for tomorrow. Here's Greer. Greer has 2 hits.
And yet another Stanley Cup title for all those Edmonton Oilers. 7 of them were with those terrific Edmonton teams, now with the Rangers.
1 ball and no strikes. Fly ball center field. Griffey will have no problem. 2 outs. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon we shall be back. We'll probably be back actually around 10 or 10:30, but the game will get on the air at 12:30. Randy Johnson against Kevin Brown. Don't want to miss that one. That'll start at 12:30. You'll see it on HSE. We'll be on the air at that time. First pitch about 5 or 6 minutes later.
By the way, the MVP of that Stanley Cup Series was Brian Leach from the Rangers.
Rodriguez has 2 hits. Two singles. The Rangers actually only have the double by Gonzalez in the first. And that is the double. That is the extra base hit story, despite the fact they have 11 hits. 6-4 Seattle. No balls and a strike to Rodriguez. 2 outs with Canseco at first. Milt Hill is the 3rd pitcher for Seattle from Atlanta, Georgia. Foul ball. Hill was originally a 28th round pick by the Reds and was a couple times on the disabled list in their minor league system. He was waived and claimed by Atlanta, which ironically had drafted him out of high school, but he did not sign. Waived by the Braves, claimed by Seattle earlier this month, and then brought up 4 days later. He's been here since the 11th.
Greg, in St. Louis tonight, Charlie Hough, a complete game, 5-hit shutout. I'm telling you, the man's been too old for years.
He is the antithesis of all of what Nolan Ryan did in physical conditioning and working hard and staying in shape. Charlie's just the opposite.
And Greg, I'll give you another one. The starting pitcher tomorrow for Florida,
Terry Matthews. I'll be darned. They're coming back.
Terry's made it back.
You got Mario Diaz and Terry Matthews.
Rob Nen, Charlie Hough, Kurt Miller, all in Florida.
Foul back.
Terry Matthews starting for Florida tomorrow.
Florida's record's only about 3 or 4 games worse than the Rangers, too. They came into play tonight. Actually, they're 31-33 with this win.
Rangers be 31-31 if they lost.
No balls and 2 strikes. But that GB column is the big one. The Rangers
And this
going to be no worse than 5 games ahead, regardless of what happens here. Could still be 6. Could be 7. That ball's fouled back. And a wrestling match is underway for the ball. And a good time was had by all. I'm not sure. Give him a hat back. The magic of baseball. Turns people funny. Here's no balls and 2 strikes. Blowers across the diamond gets Ivan, and that retires the Rangers in the 7th. No runs, a leadoff hit. He stays on base. We've played 7. It's 6-4 Seattle.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Time for the Dallas Morning News Sports Day front page news. You suppose he's part of it? Yeah, I thought he might be. Best player in baseball? Hey, got my vote. Ken Griffey Jr. with his 27th home run. He's on a pace to hit about 70 this year, providing there's no work stoppage and he doesn't slow down, which...
Hey, Greg, he's on a pace to hit 100 if providing there's a schedule change where he plays the Rangers more.
It's 5 in 6 games. He's amazing. Also made a couple of assists in the outfield. Done it all. There's Darren Oliver. Oliver, the Rangers' second pitcher. So Rogers goes 7 innings and gives up 6 runs, 5 of them earned. And his first pitch is up and in to to Martinez.
Oliver faced one man last night. It was Ken Griffey. He did not get him out.
Looped the single to left. There's a strike.
It was Darren's first action since that heart-stopping 9th inning save situation, which he came in bases loaded, nobody out against the Yankees, threw a double play ball, and then got Bob Melvin.
2 balls and a strike. As we said before, by probably the end of the week, the Rangers are going to have to make a decision regarding Hinkie. Assuming he wakes up fine tomorrow, because he did pitch another simulated game today. Back doesn't seem to be bothering him, and when he first came off the mound, he was happy with their performance today.
By the way, they're going to have to make several decisions.
Oh, you got James still waiting.
Manny Lee will be back Sunday. They say he is so comfortable now that they're sure he'll be back Sunday. And by the way, Gary Reedus said today maybe about 10 more days he feels.
Well, you know, James is an interesting case because you would think tomorrow would be a nice day to have him active.
Well, unless you're Chris James. You'd have to face Randy Johnson.
He'd get to play. There's a broken bat and a bloop to center that is in. It outdistanced the bat by maybe 15 feet. The bat went down the right field line past the first baseman, and the ball in the short center. Base hit Martinez.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Lucas. I'm on the disabled list for 3 weeks, and you bring me back in a day game against Randy Johnson. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Well, you figure Will Clark, is he going to want to come back if he's healthy tomorrow in the heat? Yeah, he just shook his head. He said, "No, I'll pinch hit tonight."
No, don't be surprised if we see Will tonight.
You're absolutely right. 2 hits and 3 at bats for Fermin. Ooh, look out, look out, look out.
What you're seeing here is the puzzle of Darren Oliver. He can look so good. I was talking to some of the advanced scouts in the lunchroom before the game. I thought they were talking about what a terrific arm he's got. How they'd love to have him.
Well, throwing strikes, throwing spots within the strike zone. Runner goes at first, hit and run, slap to short. They'll have to go to first. Kept them out of the double play as Fermin slaps it out. Going into second base is Martinez.
And that's a huge run sitting at second base.
Hasselman, who drove in the, 2 big runs, let's just say, in the 6th inning with a double. He is 1 for 3. He'll be followed by Amaral and Mitchell, so 3 straight right-handed hitters. Actually 4 counting Fermin, who just bounced out. But this is more like what I was talking about before, Norm. Now here's a guy that, if he's got good stuff, it doesn't matter if it's right-handed or left-handed.
Not at all. Back when he got the save against the Yankees, it was back-to-back right-hand hitters he got out.
Well, look at his line the last couple of days. Griffey, left-hander, gets a hit. Left-hander Martinez, though he breaks the bat, he gets a hit. Who's he get out? The right-hander Fermin. And the strike makes the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, don't forget tomorrow at 12:30 it's the Business Fans Special. And that game will offer the first 20,000 adult fans who are over 18 Southwest Airlines discounts. That pitch is inside. The discount is, for the first 20,000, you either get $25 off a round trip airfare or $10 off a one-way fare. First 20,000 coming into tomorrow afternoon's game against the Mariners. And all fans will get to see superstars in action. 2 balls and a strike. Foul ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Look out. Count full. Again, Darren throwing too many pitches here. It's taking him too long. This was just an example of the difference with Kenny Rogers. Now, Rogers at one time in his career was kind of like this. Primarily when he was being used in relief. He'd have stretches where it took him a lot of pitches to take care of people. That's the biggest change, I think, in him since he's become a starter. His control has gotten much better. Broken bat, right side. Runner goes to third and bobbled. Strange. Really, you know, it's funny. I had a gut feeling watching the ball get out there that was going to cause a problem. I don't know why I had that feeling, except that he didn't come in all the way for it. He stopped a little early. It just looked like an error about to happen, and that's what it was. Like right here, I think he's there, right there. I think he quit on it too soon. It wasn't hit that hard, and that's where I was kind of had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. Well, that doesn't make it easier because stop and think in this inning. Oliver's thrown too many pitches, yes, but he still should have 3 outs with luck. Martinez's bat was just shattered, and he blooped it into center field. He did get Fermin, and here Hasselman should have been the third out on another broken bat.
Well, and ladies and gentlemen, this game tonight gives the Rangers the distinct, disturbing ranking of the worst defensive baseball team in the free world. And let us also say one more thing. It could be worse, except for some very friendly calls at home, scoring-wise.
Foul ball, not by much. Amaral just missed a big RBI double. He's 1 for 4.
Greg, I'm just going to give you a guess that the Rangers, who already have the most errors in the majors, could have 7 to 10 more over the course of this season from some of the scoring decisions we've seen.
You'd be surprised.
But let us also quickly point out a lot of the other scoring decisions in other parks are just as questionable at times.
No balls and 2 strikes. Runners on the corners. Got him. You know, really, Oliver's having a pretty good inning. He threw a few too many pitches there, but he's gotten 4 outs.
Yes, Martinez breaks a bat. That should have been an out, and the ball simply bloops in. Easy grounder for Fermin. A trickler from Hasselman, and he blows away Amaral.
And now Mitchell, who has 2 hits, a double, a single, and walk. He grounded out his last time up in the 6th. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Rangers trailing 6 to 4. Top of the 8th.
Nice pitch.
Well, he continues to show that right-handers are not really a problem.
Well, the thing that you look at with Oliver is not only today, you try to project him 3 months or a year or 2 years down the road.
Foul ball.
It's a kid with a big-time arm. It's the same thing, Greg, we've been talking about regarding Fajardo and Dan Smith, for example. And to some degree, Helling also. If those 4, and they all have various problems, can get themselves straightened out, those are very, very good pitching prospects.
No balls and 2 strikes. Rangers coming up in the 8th inning will have Strange, Beltre, and Ripken do. Foul again.
By the way, the Rangers may need some pitching prospects to arrive next year. Right now, Brown, Rogers, Henke, Honeycutt, and Howell can all be free agents from this staff.
Henke has talked about retiring after this season. In fact, I noted that he even thought about it early when the injury hit. Right now, he's optimistic, though. No balls and 2 strikes. Got him on the corner. Mitchell can't believe it, but Oliver gets 5 outs for all practical purposes, and maybe was one. Time for us to take a look at our play of the game, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. It is a defensive gem by Ken Griffey Jr. Ivan Rodriguez with a base hit. This ball at this point looks like it's going to go past him. Bare hands it, falls down on his knees to second base. Out. Rangers scored a run on the play, but they could have had more. Griffey now at the plate. He had a home run his last time up, his 27th of the season. And this is in the Mariners' 62nd game. Two balls and a strike.
What was he figured out? The Rangers' 2 games have held him to 6 hits and 7 runs batted in?
Yeah. And Oliver's going to get him.
Oh, Darren Oliver looks terrific so far.
Griffey is the first out, and Buhner will be up. Jay had 2 hits his first 2 times up. Since then, he's hit into a double play and struck out. Buhner is a Texan by residence. He actually almost attended the University of Texas, I know, out of high school. They recruited him, but he signed instead ultimately first by Pittsburgh, then the Mets, or the Yankee organization, I should say. And finally went to Seattle. He's been there since '88. Actually, the middle of '88. 1 ball and a strike.
That was during those series of Steinbrenner years where he was trading away every kid he could find to add veterans to his Yankee team, and it wasn't working.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Talk about Jay. He's on a pace to 30 to 35 home runs. Now that's interesting. Just seconds ago, when Gonzalez was moved over more towards center, although that would have been in even if he'd been in original position. So you get the feeling that maybe the pitch wasn't exactly where it was supposed to be. Certainly it was not intended to be hit into the corner. But Buhner now has 3 hits. I noticed that, Norm, because I thought it was a little strange. Here, Buhner, they play him around toward right. The Ranger defense has been playing him around toward right. And just on the previous pitch, or the pitch before, Gonzalez had been moved about 15 feet further toward center field. Now there's going to be an intentional walk to Martinez.
They will go at Blowers, who leads this club in grounding into double plays. By the way, there's a little known rule here that you should be aware of, and that's that there is such a thing as a catcher's balk. That's why a catcher cannot simply stand out in the other batter's box, that he has to line up behind home plate, and only when the pitcher delivers the ball, jump out to catch it.
Oliver has thrown 28 pitches. And Blowers, who last season, in fact, his specialty was left-handed pitching. He had 357 against him. He is up. Blowers, another one of those players in the same category, really, as Buhner. Yankees at one point, didn't come up with him. He was signed by Montreal and went to Yankees, and then came over. Oop, look out. 1 ball and no strikes. Blowers in this game has no hits. He's been on base once. He reached on an error by Beltre at shortstop, leading off the 6th, and later scored. He's flied to right, grounded to second, reached on that error, and flied to center. 1 out, runners at first and second here in the 9th. Rangers trailing by 2.
Oliver appears to have a very, very live fastball.
1 ball and 1 strike. Oliver, born in Kansas City, lives in Rio Linda, California. On the shoot tops. 2 balls and a strike.
Pace of the game slowed down a touch, hasn't it?
In the last couple innings, it's got into its usual late inning crawl. This could be 2. Strange, the turn from Beltre, the relay. It's a double play, and the Major League's top double play turning team turns another one. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Rangers will come up. One last shot. Top of the order, McDowell, Hulson, Canseco. It's the Mariners by 2.
The Border War reloads as stars from the Texas and Mexico Professional Baseball League square off in a hard-hitting All-Star Series. Both sides of the border are rich in talent and have given the game some of its most talented heroes. Now, international pride is at stake. Make the perfect play. Drive in the winning run. Become a national hero. The Brute All-Star Game.
Wednesday night at 7 on HSE.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Don't forget, as you take a look at our score here, 6-4, that Sunday is Father's Day. And all fans entering the ballpark in Arlington with a paid admission will receive a Rangers watch. I guess that means it's suitable for timing pitches. Huh? Is that what that means? And if you can't be here, we'll have the game for you on HSE. Watch night Sunday, Rangers A's, all fans. New catchers Dan Wilson is in to catch the ninth.
Your Father's Day promo reminds me of one of the great misspeaks of the venerable Mets announcer Ralph Kiner, who's famous for his Kinerisms, who a couple of years ago was doing a game on Father's Day, and they came on the air and he said, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and first of all, before we get to any baseball, it's Father's Day, so happy birthday out there, all of you."
Well, you know, the problem is when you do stuff like that, and in fact it happens with all of us, we probably all have idiosyncrasies that we don't know about. People get used to you and they interpret it, and so they don't even notice it either. Thanks, Truck.
Ralph's great, though. Ralph's great. He threw to break this earlier this year saying, after this word from manufacturer's hangover.
Here's McDowell. Otoby leads off the ninth against Ayala, who breezed through the eighth. And the first pitch, pretty good breeze. Strike. Otoby caught it tight. Otoby has been on base once. He walked in the sixth. He's popped up his other 3 times.
Greg, we've seen Wilson. You remember Boone and Hansen. Just from this little bit of Ayala, I think the Mariners got the better of this deal.
Yeah, they got themselves a guy who can bring it in, and has done a nice job for them. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mariners are only looking for only their 7th victory on the road all season. 6-23 coming into this game.
Greg, remember the play of the game, Griffey falling down and throwing out the runner at second base? That was in the 5th inning. The Rangers, next, they've only had 1 hit since then. A Canseco 7th inning single.
Salkeld started. Then Tim Davis, Mill Hill, Ayala. 2 balls and a strike. Rangers need the leadoff man on. They may have him. Base hit Otoby McDowell off the glove of Blowers, and there's why. Perfect example of why you like to have a speedy guy where the infield has to play shallow. He had no reaction time on that ball. Now, he'll tell you he probably should have caught it anyway, but the reality is he was awfully close, and that makes it tougher.
Did Blowers stop that ball with leather or flesh?
I think it was flesh. I think it was a wrist.
Yeah, it's what it appeared.
Now, because the Rangers trail by 2, they still need to get 2 runners in. So David Hulse's job is to keep this inning alive and get on base. That's a ball. That's a start.
And again, he certainly wouldn't hit in any of the next few sequences, but the Rangers have Will Clark on the bench tonight in uniform.
Ball 2.
You know, this is almost reminiscent of the poem The Mighty Casey. McDowell and Holtz represent the players you'd like to get on so that the Mighty Casey, Jose Gonzalez.
Whoa, almost to the screen. It's ball 3. In fact, almost hit him. That was hit. That was thrown too hard to take one for the team, though, so I'm not going to criticize David. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
No, preservation of life comes before team.
Oh, yeah. Saw it happen to Jim Leyritz when he did that. Strike.
But if you're Holtz again, this is almost certainly a take situation.
Should be. Got to get him on base. 3 balls and a strike. You got a pitcher who has a history of wild stretches. So make him throw you another one. He does. Pitcher's not out of the woods yet. The only difference is because in one respect, he knows the hitter's going to be swinging. He was pretty certain he wasn't swinging at the last 2. Hermine and Amaral looking for a ground ball they can turn 2 on. And of course, David, with 2 strikes, could be a little more defensive at the plate. He's on with a walk.
Boy, nice at bat. Situations like that, there's a tendency to expand your strike zone because you don't want to be called out. Nice job by Holtz.
The crowd rising as the mighty Canseco is up, representing the winning run. And Sammy Ellis is coming out of the Mariner dugout.
Greg, there's no options left out there, basically. This is Ayala's game. Now out there are Jeff Darwin, who pitched last night, Gossage, who pitched last night, and a fellow named Bill Risley. But Bill Risley's injured and can't pitch. It is Ayala's game to save or blow.
Well, he's their #1 reliever, short reliever, closer. He's right-handed, so he's got 2 big right-handed guys up. You're absolutely right. Ellis was just out there to get him calmed down. Here's Canseco. First pitch is a ball, and the count goes to Jose's favor. 1 ball and no strike. Jose with a single in the 7th is 1 for 3. He walked in the 3rd.
Mariners swing way around. They give a lot of the right side to Canseco.
Ball 2. Now Canseco, if he gets on base by way of walk, would move the tying run to second base. And Gonzalez would be the hitter with a base hit, all that would be needed to tie the ball game. Here's the 2-ball, no strike pitch. Ball 3.
That they've used up the visit with Canseco or Gonzalez on deck, they can't even go out to talk to calm down Ayala. Now it's his and his alone. And remember now, he's being caught by a rookie catcher.
3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4. Breezes through the 8th. In the 9th, he has gotten nobody out. The bases are loaded. The Rangers trail by 2, and Juan Gonzalez, the hitter.
Rangers have not won a game in the bottom of the 9th this year.
Gonzalez has already driven in a run with a double in the 1st. He has singled in the 5th. He has scored 2 of the Ranger 4 runs. Gonzalez struck out his last time up. This is power against power. And ball 1.
Good patience, Gonzalez. This is a kid in deep trouble who's thrown only 2 of his last 11 pitches over the plate. Make him throw strikes.
Foul ball. 1 ball and a strike. Word we get from the dugout is that Will Clark may be stirring and getting some hitting paraphernalia together later on if they need to get down there.
What about a belt to end it?
Good fastball on the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Nothing wrong with that pitch. Ayala pours a 90-plus over the outside edge. Good pitcher's pitch.
Count is now in Ayala's favor if he's got something that he wants to bend, and he did, but he missed. He's not getting a good break on his breaking ball, having a lot of trouble with it, and the count is even at 2-2. Got him. Took something off. That's what he needed. He didn't have a breaking ball. He took a little off, and that's the first out. And now Rusty Greer will be the hitter, and Rusty has had a good game. Clark with the helmet on. Rodriguez is the next hitter. And of course, and Greer is going to be called back. And Clark will hit. Tell you what, this is a tough situation. You've been sick for 2 days and have to face a guy who throws 95.
You know, one advantage Clark does have, Greg, is that I'll bet he saw Ayala last year. Ayala spent most of last year in the National League. I mean, most of the year up in the National League with the Reds.
If you like percentages, though, by having him bat for the left-hander, that means Rodriguez is going to hit for himself if Clark is retired.
It also means Strange has to hit at number 7.
Strike on the first pitch.
Ayala going to some off-speed.
Yeah, and he got that one over. He was having trouble early. He got a nice off-speed pitch over to get Gonzalez. Bases loaded, 1 out. Rangers trailing by 2. Ball. This is Clark's first pinch hitting appearance of the year. Strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ayala has found the range against 2 big hitters, Gonzalez and now Clark. The inning opened with McDowell singling. Hulse and Canseco both walked, and Gonzalez struck out. Clark down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chopper right side. Run comes in. Rangers, however, trail by 1, and the hitter will be Rodriguez.
Does set up a situation, though, where a hit wins the game for Texas now.
It only takes a single to do that.
Unless it's to Buhner.
Well, or probably Griffey.
Well, and now realize your winning run is Canseco, and he doesn't run very well these days.
That's another factor. Even with a jump with 2 outs, that's... Of course, the important thing for the Rangers is to get that runner in from third and worry about Canseco, worry about him. But get that runner in to tie the game. And... they've got a pinch runner out there now. That's Jackson. Didn't notice when he went out. There's a strike. Should be able to tell the difference even from here, but didn't notice when he went out there.
Pudge dove away from that ball as though he thought it was way inside. Ball really was a pretty good pitch. It was right around the corner at the knees.
Pudge has 2 hits in this game. He needs a third. Rangers trailing by 1, 6-5. And now down to the final strike. Foul ball. Rangers scored the last time prior to this inning in the 5th. Mariners scored the first run of the game in the top of the 1st. Rangers got 2 more in the bottom of the inning. Mariners took the lead in the 6th, added a run in the 7th. Winning run at 2nd, tying run at 3rd. Gonzalez strikes out, ball game's over.
No,
foul ball. A protest by Wilson, and now Pinella's going to come out and scream a bit. Wilson contends he caught the ball. Now we're going to ask the first base umpire. He says it hit the ground, and Piniella not happy about this. Dan Wilson is convinced that he caught it. Now, a foul tip has to be in the glove. It can't be off the ground first. And so Rodriguez has a life.
Let's see if Tim Welke and the crew chief Joe Brinkman are correct.
No, it bounced. That's not a catch. See what happens there is Wilson's concentrating on the ball so much. Once the ball hits the ground, you gotta catch it, and then he ticked it. That's the difference. And the ball gets away. Here comes the tying run, and this ball game is even.
We'll show the wild pitch in a minute. Greg, it didn't look from the replay to Rodriguez that he fouled the ball.
Well, that would have been a good argument if he didn't foul it. But it looked like the question was whether the ball hit the ground or not, because the first base umpire came in pointing at the ground. That was the argument.
No question, that was the call. You're right there, Greg. No question, that was the argument.
Winning run at 3rd, 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and we are going to an extra frame.
Okay, take a look at this, Greg. See what you think, whether Rodriguez got a piece of it or not. Oh, man.
Sure couldn't tell. But
tough to tell.
The wild pitch brings in the tying run, and it was wild all right. And we'll be back with the 10th in just a moment.
One, two, three.
6th game. Oliver is still in at pitcher. Jackson makes his debut in the field for the Rangers. Chuck Jackson, the one-time Astro, is now at 3rd base. And Bill Ripken moves over to 1st base. Obviously, Will Clark felt well enough to swing the bat, but not well enough to stay in the game, because he's not in the ball game. And that means, with Canseco run for earlier by Jackson, that means that there's your hitter. At least the pitcher's slot will have to hit when it comes up. The Rangers do not have a designated hitter. Pinella upset because he thinks the game should have been over by now. And Tino Martinez, Felix Fermin, and Bill Hasselman will be the 3 to hit here in the 10th.
Now, Oliver, the pitcher, will bat in the number 5 spot, vacated by Greer Clark. Jackson must stay in the number 3 slot because he ran for Canseco and thus must stay in that slot. So right now, if you're keeping score at home, Oliver is hitting 5th.
Something about pepperoni pizza or something. Ripken making his debut as a first baseman.
Debut as a first baseman. Chuck Jackson making his debut in Texas. Darren Oliver making his debut as a number 5 hitter.
Yeah, hey, his dad used to hit. Maybe that'll help if he has to get around to that far. Here's Martinez. Martinez with a base hit his last time up, and that was off of Oliver. Actually, he's the first man Oliver faced, and he broke his bat.
I tell you, this would be a killer game for Seattle to lose. Psychologically, this would be a backbreaker.
Ball slides off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Rangers now finally getting some action in the pen. Chris Carpenter. Well, Ollie throwing hard, but now he's down on the count, 3 balls and a strike. You do not want. You know what I've noticed as much as anything? Oliver seems to have more control trouble against left-handed hitters than he does against right-handed hitters. I'm not sure why that is. And now,
wait a minute.
kind of a delay. Claude was just going to walk out without them calling timeout, it looked like, for a moment, but Osteen's on his way to the mound. Tonight's game is being brought to you by your friends who make Johnsonville brats. Big taste from a small town. They have sold a few here at the old ball yard tonight.
Sold a few in the broadcast booth tonight.
No. Yours were free. Conference is over. Well, the Rangers get 2 runs in the ninth. Will Clark grounds out with the bases loaded. 1 run scores. The second one on a wild pitch. 1 pitch before Rodriguez strikes out to end the inning. 6-6. Ball 4, and the leadoff man as well. Oh,
with a terrific little bunter coming up.
And a pitching change also about to happen.
Well, there's no question that the Rangers are in better shape as we go into the extra innings here. From an availability of pitcher standpoint. Everybody left in the pen for the Mariners worked last night. And Ayala certainly isn't a guy that figures to go very far. Cummings, Darwin, and Gossage are left in the Seattle pen. They all worked last night, and they all worked a pretty good amount of pitches.
Oliver gets a hand. He did a fine job, except walking the leadoff man here in the 10th. It's kind of not what you're looking for. Carpenter will be the new pitcher. And his job will be to, no doubt, help handle the bunt properly, execute the play that we expect Fermin to be involved with.
Now, Carpenter's working on a little bit of a lowered tank also. He went 2 innings last night. Now, he threw only 16 pitches, but as I recall, 15 of them for strikes.
Well, the Rangers certainly hope that carries over. Yeah, we'll be back in a moment. We're going to take a break. Going to be a pinch runner down at first base. We'll fill you in on all of that. What else is coming up? Soho's gone down to run. We'll be back in just a moment. Base for Martinez. Soho, Venezuelan, utility infielder. As Carpenter continues his warm-ups, those are his season numbers, and 5 saves. That's tops on the club.
Carpenter, in 7 1/3 lifetime innings against Seattle, has allowed 1 hit. He's been good against them.
All he's got to do is not allow a second, and everyone will be happy. It's that kind of a life.
Yeah, but allow a bunt and a second and people will be unhappy. You're exactly right. That's the life of a guy called into situations like this.
And once again, looking ahead, the Rangers, even whether it's tied or whatever, coming up in the 10th, Strange, Beltre, and Ripken.
And again, as you look deeper into this game, realize Canseco, Clark, and Greer are all gone from the Ranger lineup. Mariners have 2 people left on the bench, and both of them hit with some power. Anthony and Jefferson left on their bench.
Felix Fermin up to move the runner over. He's had a couple of hits, but this time it is to take sacrifice, and he bunts the ball out in front of the plate. Good bunt. Carpenter with a nice play over the coverage of Strange. And going into second base is Soho. And Glenn Wilson, who came into the game for defensive purposes in the last half inning, is going to have to be offensive because he's up. He hasn't been very offensive. He's been more offensive. Dan hitting .221 with 1 homer, 13 runs batted in.
And the Mariners cannot pinch hit for him. They carry only 2 catchers, and Hasselman's been used already.
Dan is another Mariner that came by.
And Blauer, Soho, Fermin, and Wilson, 6 straight righties.
Well, 3 balls, no strikes to Ripken. Never too late. You got an out left. Oddibe McDowell, who contributed with a base hit in the 9th and scored one of the 2 runs, is on deck. Three and one.
Well, I guess this answers the question of whether Ayala can be used tomorrow also.
And the winning run is at first with 2 outs. Oddibe McDowell, who has 1 hit in 4 at-bats, but he's been on base the last 2 times he's come to the plate. His single in the 9th started the Ranger 2-run rally, which tied the game. Mariners led 6-4 going to the bottom of the 9th. Rangers tied it on a wild pitch after a disputed strikeout of Rodriguez was ruled not a strikeout. Ruled that the ball was foul tipped and trapped. So he got another pitch. Actually got 2 more pitches. The first one was wild. The next one struck him out. But the Rangers had tied the game. 1 strike now to McDowell.
That's it.
1-1.
Quiet bullpen for Seattle. They're going to go with Ayala. He's now past the 50-pitch barrier.
Outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Man, I can't remember the last time I saw a closer heading for pitch 54 in a game. Can you? Except, well, maybe I can. Did Hanky throw? I don't think Hanky ever threw that many when he was stretched out by the Rangers.
Fly ball foul, curving toward the stands, and it will be coming back and just in the front row. Boy, that did come back a lot. Two balls and 2 strikes. In 13 hours, they will start again right here at the ballpark. There's a strike 3 call, and half Whiteside with 1 out, nobody on.
It appears that they're going to let Ayala go a 4th inning in this game.
Well, I guess they're planning on him to call upon his years as a starter and just not figure on using him for 2 or 3 days. Big swing and a miss. You know, Seattle's in a point where they just need to win a game. Yeah, they're so bad on the road, and they have a shot because it's even. And certainly if they get a run to take the lead, they don't want to take him out.
Well, let's also be honest about their starter tomorrow. The big unit goes the distance a lot.
Yeah, he may not need help. No balls and 2 strikes. Whoa, on 3 pitches. What's that? 14 strikes in a row thrown by Ranger pitching. And Ed Martinez. Edgar has not had a hit in this game. He's been on base twice. He walked with the bases loaded to drive in a run in the 3rd.
By the way, if you're thinking maybe Seattle's going to get a schedule break and let their pitchers rest, they don't have an off day till the All-Star break.
Low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Now, the Rangers coming up in the bottom of the 11th will have Hulse, Jackson, and Gonzalez. Jackson will making his Ranger debut. Little bloop right side. Oddibe's there. We're going to see the aforementioned 3 when we come back. Bottom of the 11th. The game is tied at 6. Ayala going into his 4th inning of work. And he'll be facing Hulse, Jackson, and Gonzalez. Don't forget, tomorrow at 12:30, we'll be back. It's getting closer and closer, isn't it? Johnson and Brown will be the starting pitching matchup. We'll have it for you here on HSE. David Hulse walked and was part of that 2-run rally in the ninth. He's had 3 hits, and he takes a ball inside. He singled his first 3 times up, stole a base in the first, then hit one back to the mound in the 6th and walked again in the 9th. There's a strike. Flailing away, that one way ahead of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He just snaps it off on David Hulse, and that's 2 strikeouts in a row. Ayala doesn't seem to be getting tired.
We're now into the 60s.
He's not tiring.
This guy should have been showered and at the hotel by now, shouldn't he? Now, admittedly, he's a big, strong kid who's been a starter, as you pointed out, Greg. Boy, this is a long way to take a closer.
Chuck Jackson making his Ranger debut. There were his Oklahoma City numbers, 297 with 3 homers, 24 runs batted in. And he chops the ball to the right side. Soho tosses him out, 2 down.
If you're wondering, does he have history of being used this way, long innings? Well, in his previous 23 appearances this year for Seattle, Ayala's pitched 27 innings, so no.
Palmer is on deck. He will hit for the pitcher if Gonzalez gets on with 2 outs. Again, pulling the string on Juan. Now, Juan has struck out the last 2 times. Had a good start to today's game with an RBI double in the first, singled and scored in the 5th, but the last 2 times up, in 7th and 9th, has looked over anxious. How about the 12th? We're going to play it whether you like it or not. It's tied at 6-6. We'll be back. It'll be Blauer, Soho, and Fermin. Don't forget, Thursday night when the Rangers take on the Athletics, all fans 13 and under with a paid admission will receive a souvenir batting helmet. That's Thursday night against the A's. Mike Blauers has no hits in this game. He reached on an error and scored in the 6th. Whiteside still in the game, but doesn't figure to pitch anymore after this inning, assuming he gets through this one unscathed, because the pitcher's position is leading off. The Rangers still have Palmer available to hit there. Liner to right, Rodabe's got it. And Luis Soho will now hit for the first time. And the Rangers have Dan Smith. Now, Dan is capable of going a number of innings if necessary. Again, being a starter, the only drawback might be the fact he did warm up once a long time ago. First pitch of ball.
And maybe Ayala's finished.
Broken bat. Couple hopper to Beltre, and he flips it across, and Soho's out. And Felix Fermin will hit with 2 outs.
Let's tip the cap to the Ranger bullpen. Oliver, Carpenter, Honeycutt, Whiteside. They've kept the door pretty well shut now for 4 2/3 innings. There have been a couple of small jams, but they've worked out of them.
Little bloop up the middle on the fist, base hit. That is Fermin's third. You know, he's showing that 320 plus average that he had coming in, no surprise.
Tell you what you don't like about that. Besides the fact that it puts a lead run on base at this point of the game, it means if the game goes another inning, you're going to have to pitch to Griffey next inning.
Dan Wilson grounded out in his first at bat. That was in the 10th inning. 2 outs, runner at first, tie score 6-6.
Rangers defensively give Wilson the entire left field corner in the air, but they protect the line with the third baseman. They then give him much of center and left center, hold on the runner, and cover the right. In fact, look at McDowell moving even closer to the right field line.
Strike 2 called. You're right. Oliver, Carpenter, Honeycutt, and Whiteside up to this point have really been sharp out of the bullpen. They have done the job.
The last 3 especially have thrown strike after strike after strike.
0-2 with 2 outs to Wilson. Little low.
Being that Seattle has another visit in here this year, there will be a curfew in effect tonight. No inning can start after 1 o'clock.
That's a foul ball. Rangers, after the home run display last night, have still only 1 extra base hit. That came back in the first inning by Gonzalez, a double down the left field line. Everything else is 1 base at a time. The Rangers have 12 hits. The Mariners have 14. Runs are even at 6. No swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bouncing ball, Strange. The flip the belt tray. Let's go to the bottom of the 12th inning. It will be pinch hitter Palmer, it appears, then Rodriguez, then Strange. Rangers need 1. Bottom of the 12th inning, the Rangers need 1, and they're going to send up a guy who can do it with 1 swing of the bat against a guy who had a little problem with the long ball last night. Goose Gossage gave up 2 home runs, 1 to Gonzalez and 1 to Rodriguez. Successive hitters late in the game, but he will finally give Ayala a blow.
The 1 win Gossage has was over Texas on May 20th when he went 2 1/3 shutout innings. This guy has put together an incredible career. In the history of baseball, he's 3rd with 113 relief wins. 4th in the history of baseball. This is his 985th appearance, and 4th with 309 saves.
Dean Palmer takes the first pitch low and away. Dean was, well, it's interesting. They call him day-to-day before the game. I guess this is almost a new day, so he's getting to play. He's got a rib cage injury. There's a shot, curving foul. Palmer hitting .239, 6 homers, 25 runs batted, and he's 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Missed a good deal of action this year with some back and leg problems, now rib cage. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is his 44th game. Rangers 62nd.
Gossage, 42 years old.
And still smoking. That's one down, and Rodriguez will be up. Rodriguez hit a home run off Goose last night. There's the bench
for both teams. That's what's left. Junior. Will Clark told a fabulous story about Junior today. I'll try to slip it in here during the inning if nothing arises where we have to concentrate on strategy. He said his favorite story about Junior Ortiz was he was catching Rick Russell, okay? And Will says the Giants were hitting Rick Russell hard, and the bench signaled Junior to go out and talk to Rick Russell. Give the bullpen time to get warm.
Base hit.
And he said,
run at first.
He got out to the mound, and Russell was all hot. He was really mad at what was going on. And he cursed 3 or 4 times, okay? So Junior was just a little bit of a slight stutter at times. Said, but Big Daddy, I love it when you talk dirty. Went around back, on the plate and caught.
Doug has a base hit in 4 at-bats. Requests time. Well, he wants Deward Merrill to move to the other side of second base, the second base umpire. First pitch is a ball.
The Mariners do not, like the Rangers, protect the line at third base. They give the entire left and right field corners to Strange. They allow a lot of room down the lines. They're trying to bunch the alleys on Strange, and remember now, it was Strange who drilled the ball right down the right field line earlier in the game.
Strange has home run porch power as well. Pitch out. Oh, my goodness. The old Rodriguez steal of second play, huh?
To go to 2-0. You almost get the feeling there Seattle thought they'd stolen a sign.
Yeah, thought they had to. They probably thought they had a hit and run.
Yeah, that was such an odd circumstance.
Maybe,
Seattle.
you know what? Maybe they did. Because look at Pudge. He's talking to Hatcher. He might have missed it. 2 balls and no strikes. Nothing going here. The ball is chopped fair. Whoa, almost thought about going to second on that one and wisely didn't. However, Rangers are a base hit away now from winning the ball game. They're 2 outs.
And once this year already, Esteban's won a ball game here with a base hit.
Beltre in this game is hitless. In fact, he was overmatched in his 2 at-bats against Ayala. He bounced back weakly and struck out. He has struck out twice in this game, hit into a double play and walked, so it has not been a good offensive game for Esteban.
That's it.
1 ball and no strikes. Well, he didn't even think about that one after it was in the glove. 2 balls and no strikes. Good thing. Judging from what I've seen in this at-bat and probably against Ayala, I think Gossage probably has the right idea. Just blow it by him because Esteban has looked slow on the fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Rodriguez at second base. Of course, with 2 outs, that gives him a little extra speed because he takes off as soon as the ball's hit. Wide for a ball, and Gossage behind in the count 3-1. Now, the runner at first base isn't important. You don't want to give in to him. But it may be you have a little more, you do have a more veteran hitter up in Ripken. Not handling the 3-1. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's Ripken.
Beltre taking a swing like he was trying to hit the ball to the arc.
Just past the dirt in the infield might be enough. Boy. Just went with the gas. A hit, one left. We'll go to inning number 13. As the Rangers will face... Well, the Rangers, as we go to the top of the 13th, will toss out their 6th pitcher, Dan Smith. He'll start the inning, and he'll start against the top of the order, which has changed a little from the start of the game. Jefferson, Anthony, and then Griffey.
I was about to say all left-hand hitters, but Jefferson's a switcher, so he'll be right-handed leading off. Then Anthony and Griffey the lefties, and then Buhner, should anyone get on.
Yeah, there's one that isn't over.
Yeah, by the way, Travis Fryman put Detroit ahead there with a 3-run double. He has been scorching hot of late. Tigers have been pretty hot of late. Rodriguez out to catch the top of the 13th, virtually assuring him he'll get the day off tomorrow.
Yeah,
the day game.
I think Junior will get to play some tomorrow.
Junior draws all those good assignments. Randy Johnson in bright sunlight. Dan Smith has had an adventurous few outings here. He's at 3 outings here. Already has a win and a loss amongst the 3 outings he's had. Pitched last against Kansas City, surrendering 2 runs in 1 inning and getting the loss 4-3. That was Saturday night, the game that Clark batted in all 3 Ranger runs with a home.
Jefferson leads off and takes the pitch for a ball. Jefferson, you know, we thought he was a switch hitter, but I think he's given.
Back?
Well, he must have. He only hit 1 something against right-handed pitching last year.
But they list him. They list him as a switch here. Oh, he's only hit 4 times right-handed, but they still list him as a switcher.
Yeah, he's kind of the Gino Petralli type switch hitter. Does it as long as he thinks it's halfway decent and then quits. And he has not been hitting right-handed well. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I hate to give a terribly negative statistic, because you know hitters turn those around as soon as they come out of your mouth, but Jefferson, since coming off the disabled list last Friday, 0 for 12.
Well, anyone for 13 in the 13th. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reggie is another one from the Cincinnati organization. He is the guy that actually the Reds lost on an administrative error involving the disabled list. And Cleveland kind of helped him out, and they traded him Tim Costo. That's how he got to Cleveland. That's fouled away. And then now Seattle. Last year, he was only 21 for 107 batting right-handed. That's 196. So I think that's when you say, 270 left-handed. Maybe I better stay there mostly. There's Jay Howell. High pop.
High pop.
Billy Rip. 1 out.
See, Billy's not used to that weird glove, though. He's used to that third baseman's glove. That one there, he's not real used to. Wonder whose that is.
Must be his, really, because you stop and think all first basemen are left-handed.
Yeah, it must be his, come to think of it.
Here's Anthony. He struck out coming in as a pinch hitter in his 1 at bat.
Maybe it's Reedus's.
That's possible.
Maybe Bob
be Gary's.
Reedus's.
No balls and a strike. The word is out. Kevin Brown, Randy Johnson, you're pitching complete games tomorrow.
Here's Griffey.
Yeah, he's
He flipped him the ball. He's
Yeah.
having fun with the fans down there again.
1 ball and 1 strike. Rip.
The guy's going to get the Gold Glove at first base.
Oh, so that's what that is out there. That's a clock. And you'll get one almost that big on Sunday. Gee, that's a small fly. However, we might point out that when Tom Schiefer, the president of the Rangers, was up here earlier, Norm pointed that out, complaining about the clock. And what did he tell you?
He said, "This is a timeless game." He said, "It's your football upbringing." I said, "Tom, this isn't a timeless life. Sometimes you actually need to know what time it is."
1 ball and 1 strike to Griffey.
Best reason to bring your binoculars to the ballpark is to be able to tell what time it is.
Griffey homered in the 7th. That was his 27th of the season. 1 ball and a strike.
And a happy Wednesday to you, Greg.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take my car in to have the window fixed this morning. I was actually going to even listen to your radio show when I was taking it in. But
I actually was going to do it.
bouncing ball foul. Getting pretty close to it. Good point brought up by Bob Bob Steinfeld in the truck. We almost have a day-night double. Well, actually, it's a morning-afternoon doubleheader.
Or a night-day doubleheader.
Yes, one or the other. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Uh-oh. Way back, and Ken Griffey has done it again. Over and out. Upper deck. Move over, Rods. This guy is coming. His 28th home run in the team's 62nd game.
And
it's 7-6 Mariners.
And the negotiations begin. Look at Griffey. Another day, another homer. Wait a minute, another day too.
See this Griffey story play out.
Isn't that the truth?
2 balls and a strike. Foul ball.
And Greg, consider just as an announcer this possibility. We do games with Seattle. The 16, 17, and 18 of September. That could be
big week.
Big week.
Ripken hits it twice. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gossage, the pitcher of record, he would get the victory if he can close it out. And that would be his 2nd of the year, both against Texas. Smith would be the loser. But the Rangers have 3 outs to work with.
Mm-hmm.
3-2. By the way, good news for Astro fans. They're back in that virtual tie for first. That game on the West Coast is over. The Dodgers beat the Reds. That's going to be a tough one to catch. Buhner can't get to it. Ripken is on his horse. He's into second base, and he'll hold with a double. The tying run is in position. McDowell will hit.
And in right field, Buhner missed catching that ball by the hair on his chinny chin chin. Let's see how close Jay Buhner gets to this drive. Oh!
And then Griffey gets to it and makes sure he only gets a double. Right there. Now McDowell. First pitch strike.
Kind of surprised McDowell isn't bunting in this situation. What do you think? Again, making the Mariners play defense.
Well, if he can just pull the ball to the right side, you have a chance to get the run in or the runner over. Well, there's the bluff bunt, and he took it for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good bunt. Just got him by a step. Going to third base is Ripken. Tying run.
Boy, now your mind turns with the possibility of Holtz squeezing him home. Mariners have decided they're going to win it here. They're going to pull the infield in. They're going to take their chances that Holtz won't plug one through, drive in the tie run, set up the lead run.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation here with the infield in, because what you're doing is, you are exactly right. They're playing to win it here, because if David gets one through, David steals second. That's a winning run in scoring position. But they are planning to get this runner no further than where he is from third base. 1 ball to Hulse. Hulse is, you can tell how long this game is. Now when they rerun his at-bats on the scoreboard, they have to start with the 5th inning. They can't show them all.
By the way, the Rangers have already scored 1 run in this game in a wild pitch, and Gossage has a pair of those this season.
He's also got 2 balls and no strikes to Hulse. David had base hits in his first 3 times at bat. He's also been on base a 4th time with a walk in that 9th inning rally. The Rangers trailed by 2 to the bottom of the 9th, scored 2 to tie. And it's 3 balls. Chuck Jackson is on deck. Chuck has had 1 at bat in this game, and as a Ranger. And Hulse walks.
More strategy possibilities.
Well, here comes Lou Piniella.
This does not appear to be a change pitcher walk. It may well be a, what do we do if they do this? What do we do if they do that?
It could be a moot point, but the Rangers are in a situation where it's possible they might get down to their absolutely last player, because the pitcher's slot is up after Gonzalez. There's 1 out. There's still 1 empty base. They still have pitchers, but as far as players...
Oh, Lou. Lou, some fans were riding Lou as he came back, and he gave them the freeway salute.
We lead by 1. That's what he was saying.
Oh, that was it.
Hulse stealing second. The throw through. Oh, my, what a wrist. Hulse has a stolen base, and they played on him. And then almost threw it away.
Well, first base is open now, but you sure don't want to walk this guy to pitch to Gonzalez. And now they're going to play the infield.
Oh my! Base hit wins the ball game, and he hits the. If Chuck Jackson can hit the ball hard to anywhere except right at someone, but on the other hand, Goose is not throwing strikes. 2 balls, no strikes. If he gets Jackson out, there's a strike. Then you can walk Gonzalez, and the Rangers have to use their absolutely last player, and that's our old buddy Junior.
Yes, Junior.
So this is a real key at bat. Jackson really needs to do something, and he's doing it. It's 3 balls and a strike, because if he walks, that changes it all. He can't do anything but pitch to Gonzalez. Ball, the play's coming to the plate. The throw's in time. The tag is made, and Jackson is safe. But now they do not have to pitch to Gonzalez. Even though Jackson's at first base, the risk would be moving the winning run to second base. So that they still have a decision to make here.
Well, the decision is a major one. Do you walk Gonzalez, force the winning run into scoring position and pitch to Ortiz. I would honestly doubt Piniella would do that. Wait a minute, maybe. Maybe they're looking in the dugout for instructions from Piniella.
Certainly would be out of the ordinary.
Yeah, but Lou has been known to be unorthodox at times in his managerial career.
Well, he has a little bit already in this inning. So we'll see what happens now. Gonzalez started the game well. He has not finished it well. He has struck out twice and grounded out his last 3 at-bats, including a strikeout the first out of the inning in the 9th when the Rangers got the first 3 on base. He can make amends with one big swing. And he had a big swing against Goose last night. He homered. 1 ball and no strikes. Rangers down to their final out. Tying run is at 3rd. That should be it.
Yep, that's the ballgame.
It's going to blow, though. Maybe not. It is out of play. It kept blowing a little bit further, and the wind coming in from right field was all it took to overcome the infield drift on pop-ups behind the plate, so the Rangers get a life.
That ball started up 10, 15 feet in the park.
You see the way the flags are blowing, and that blew the ball further out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the Rangers took advantage of a break in the 9th. Can they do it in the 13th? He hit it. And the bases are loaded.
If he could have gotten out of the way of that ball, that's a wild pitch.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been awfully tough to get out of the way of because it was behind him.
No criticism of Juan. It's just that it's a fact of life. If somehow that ball had missed the back of Gonzalez, it goes to the screen.
Well, Rangers losing their last non-pitcher. Junior Ortiz will hit.
That's how close Juan came to getting out of the way.
He tried. Oh, he tried. He tried to duck in, but he couldn't. Oh, my. Talk about going down to the wire. It's 7-6. We're in the 13th. And Ortiz is at the plate with 2 outs, bases loaded. And a strike. Junior hitting .255. For 1 as a pinch hitter. Broken bat should be the game. And is. So the Mariners win it in 13, leaving the Rangers having the bases loaded in the 13th. Griffey's home run the story. He hit a pair, 28 for the game. Let's go to the clubhouse now and Kevin Eschenfelder.
All right, thank you, Greg. Boy, it finally ends. Seattle wins at 7-6. Both teams combining for 29 hits.